What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Young Louis.
I'm Keith.
I'm Mary Jane Uzumaki.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Jarek Jane Uzumako.
I know. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. BTS, Autumn Leaves / Dead Leaves. I believe this was on Most Beautiful Moment in Life as well. It's your first time on the channel, hit the subscribe button. You probably didn't watch like 20 videos and you still didn't hit it because 70% of y'all watching this. 70% of people watching this have not hit the subscribe button. So do it now or I'll find you. And I'll take your army bomb and hug you with it.
They probably just skipped through that.
It's like he's squeezing too tight.
Subscribe. Also, make sure you jump on the Patreon. It's exclusive drip on there. We finally finished the Raza Bang Tang on there. We're about to start back
up to this point.
Yeah, we're starting back over. We're doing the bonus content and also the deleted content on there. And the soup will be started up again this on there. Yes. Also, run BTS, run! Hey, all that's gonna be up on there. Yeah, mama performances, MMA performances, dance practices, live performances, and things that are blocked on YouTube.
Which is pretty much everything, truthfully speaking.
So without further ado, speech. Oh yeah, the 2018 speech.
For real?
Maestro, let's jump into this.
Let us speech.
Nick, can you throw some?
위태로워 보이는 낙엽은 우리를 보는 것 같아서 손이 닿으면 가슴에라도 바스라질 것만 같아서 그저 바람만 받치 가을의 바람과 같이 어느새 차가워진 말투와 표정 관계를 시들어만 가는 게 보여 가을 하늘처럼 고마운 사이 예전과는 다른 모한 자 오늘따라 훨씬 더 조용한 밤 가슴 위에 달린 낙엽 같아 부서지는 끝이란 게 보여 나가는 거야 전해도 마음속에 보여 제발 떨어지지 말아줘 떨어지지 말아줘 바스라지는 거야 내 눈을 마주치는 나를 원해 다시 나를 원하는 날 원해 제발 떨어지지 마라 쓰러지려 하지 마라 멀리 멀리 가지마 Baby you got 놓지 못하겠는 Baby you got 포기 못하겠는 girl yeah. 떨어지는 낙엽들처럼 이 사랑이 낙엽들처럼 내가 시들어가고 있어 yeah. 모든 낙엽은 떨어지지 yeah. 영원할 듯하던 모든 건 멀어지지 yeah. 넌 나의 다섯 번째 계절 널 보려 해도 볼 수 없잖아 반하지 내가 푸른색이야 마음을 터지 않아도 저절로 떨어지네 미련이 바래처럼 조각조각 떨어지네 붉은 전복들만 털어 내 위에 떨어지네 내 가지를 떠지 않아도 자꾸만 떨어지네 그저 내 사랑을 모르게 위에 떨어지네 가까이 있어도 나의 두 눈은 멀어지네 벌어지네 이렇게 벌어지네 추억 속에서 난 또 어려지네 Never fall Never fall 내 눈을 마주치는 나를 원해 다시 나를 원하는 날 원해 yeah. 제발 떨어지지 마라 쓰러지려 하지 마라 Never 멀리 멀리 가지마 왜 난 아직도 너를 포기 못해 난
You know I need you, girl.
쓰러진 추억을 붙잡고 욕심인 걸까 지는 계절을 되돌리려 돌리려
J-Ro!
너 어디 우리에게 왜 이렇게 시들어
That shit picked up. Never, never fall. Everybody had a falling reference in their shit.
Cute John.
I like this John. Definitely one of them Johns. The first note hits you, and then I was kind of waiting to fill out. I'm sorry, I'm not about to yell over this.
I can't hear you, Nick.
Definitely a John where the first like note from Cookie hit, but I was kind of waiting to see how the song was gonna fill itself out. I like this a lot. The rap line did they thing because I'm still trying to think of collectively in my head who had the best part. I wanted to say RM at first. Sugar set the tempo, but J-Hope was kind of did J-Hope things. Well, let's talk about the vocal line then. That whole last part, that last part was like this. For you, now you. It was like I could hear it over here. I could hear it over there. Y'all want more? Say nah. That. Oh man. But yeah, the vocal line at the end just was like snapping. I want to credit Cookie for probably a majority of that stuff. I definitely felt like it was
Jimin
hints
was
of
under there
Jimin
too,
in there.
bro.
I felt hints of
A lot of background vocals.
doing a lot of
Jimin.
background. I love V when the track almost just kind of ended, but he kind of slid back in and did
Brought us back.
the whole baby girl. I see you over there looking at me like that. That energy.
Very smooth with it.
Jen, I see you too, bruh. I seen what you did. I like this a lot, man. I do want to listen to it again because I almost want to. It's almost a download. I don't know. I want to listen to this again. This was
What's
this
holding
was
you
decent.
back?
Maybe that this sounds kind of very similar in a BPM to a few songs that they have. And when I run into those things, it turns into, not really turns into, but it can be one of those things where, let's just say you hear a song B sounds like song A. If song A is already like at a 9 or a 10 to you, and song B is at like a 7 or an 8, song A kind of will always edge out song B. Yeah. So even if I download it, it's only really going to get played if I got it like on a playlist and it's shuffled.
It's on repeat.
Yeah, and it turns into kind of one of those things, respectfully.
As opposed to it being its own
Or
thing.
shuffle, not repeat.
Yeah. Like I said, whether it's on shuffle, and sometimes my shit be on. I'll play a playlist, but my shit still be on repeat. As weird as that sound, and then I have to change it into the next show. I'm weird, but yeah, just things like that. Also, like I kind of want another listen just to digest, and I kind of can't wait to hear the live because I feel like the live will probably be what pushes me over the edge, especially when they get to the vocal run.
Are we listening to the live?
Yeah, jump on the Patreon. It's all live performances on there. YouTube will be getting some live performance content that they've been asking
Very
for.
ominous.
But yeah, I kind of can't wait to hear the live, especially for, like I said, that vocal run. But I've been talking enough. How do you guys feel?
You know, it was a great listen. I think that it progressively got better. I think the vocal line was the best part. Rappers did they thing. You feel me? All individually did they thing. But boy, was they singing. And like Nick said, they was almost passing the baton, or as some other people would say, they were passing the old hula hoop around. I just made that saying up right now.
Yeah, we
He was like, we know.
But it was a great song though. I enjoyed it. Not sure if I'm gonna download it, just because, to be honest, I don't think the rappers were necessary on this one. I would have preferred it if it was just the vocal line snapping, doing their
I
thing.
was about to pull a Kurt, but like, I totally disagree with you.
Yeah, no. Either way, I still feel that way. Respectfully, I feel like the vocal line should have just been given a little bit more to snap with. But you know, the rappers was cool.
I do too, but I try not to be greedy. Like
Well, I'm greedy. So.
It's like, you know how like you, regardless if you like a bias or anything else, I do like when certain people get to shine and do everything.
Don't even get me
else
started.
and
There was
stuff like
barely
that.
any Jimin in this.
It's one of
I felt
those
like he
things.
was sneakily in the
He
background.
ate when it was
a lot-
time to.
a
When
lot
it was
of
time to
this.
shoot threes and like
You need to stop playing with him.
He hit him. But only because I do like the rap lines, like a lot of like the metaphors and like similes and stuff that they were using to equate to like just fall. I swear it was, like I said, it was 1,000 fall references
Yeah.
with anything, whether it
When
was
RM
tears,
came, I was like, here we
my
go.
heart fell. Like it's just, you know, the RM joint too. I love that. When calling Shorty, you basically like a fifth season. I'm gonna never find you. I thought that was like, I gotta use that, man.
Also, the fifth season would be spring, which is life. So you would essentially be that person's life again.
Like,
It was deep.
but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, just picking up on the fifth season part. That was probably my favorite line from RM. Just, you know, just saying you're like a fifth season. I'll never see you again. You're always going to be green to me, and that's pretty dope. Because we know spring is the most lush and flourishing time of the year. Everything's growing. So, and just even with that, just think about that in the context of the relationship compared to the autumn leaves, where things are withering and dying and everything's falling and going away and the earth's, you know, getting barren and stuff like that. So you always want your relationship to be flourishing and prospering and everything like that. So it makes that makes a lot of sense. But like I said, that was my favorite line from him. The vocal line, y'all know my love for Hwayoung Yeonghwa. This whole album is just amazing. This is actually one of the few songs, along with My City, that we just reacted to that I didn't have. That I didn't listen to prior to, you know, coming on. But this is a good one. It is a little similar to Love Is Not Over with the beat and everything like that, but the hook and just the whole composition of the song is somewhat separate. And what kind of, I actually agree with your line of thinking about song A, song B. You know how it is. Love Is Not Over is definitely the song A in this scenario. And it holds up so much more. But I still downloaded this because I do like this. I thought V was actually able to get off some, he was able to get some good tick in this one, and a congruent tick as well. Not like chopped up and someone jumps in or anything like that and interrupts him. He's able to fluidly get his part off and stuff like that, which is dope. JK, what can I say about JK? I feel like JK might be the person I complimented the most out of this damn group, if we being honest. He just, every time he shows up, he just really delivers, especially when it's an R&B or emotional pleading type of song. He just always kind of delivers on those, so I love it. But Jin and Jimin, when Jimin was present on the song, he held us down. But I see that he harmonized with Cookie, so like I said, I'll listen to it again and kind of see where I go from there.
I really like this. This was such a vibe and a chill type song. The vocal line was really, really good. I'm gonna have to kind of agree with you, Jared. Maybe they probably should have left the rappers off on this one. J-Hope energy, I like how he came in, but then right when I was getting into it, it like just ended. So, but other than that, they all ate. But I feel like the vocal line definitely they dominated. I have to agree with you also, Nick. I can't wait to see how this is going to look live. I feel like it's gonna push it over the edge as well. Just because now we can see, those notes being
Performed or conveyed.
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I like the song. I really do. Like, hashtag I can smoke to this. So yeah.
It's funny that the song is like called Autumn Leaves, but other people call it like Dead Leaves, and then just equating back to everything that you was talking about as far as that equating either to love or towards like the fall season and everything, the fall of the relationship, just et cetera, et cetera. It's always decent how much love and care goes into B-sides when when it's a lot of artists who, I probably sound like a broken record, but it is a lot of artists who honestly don't give a fuck about some B-sides. Some B-sides are literally just some shit that wasn't a title track, or sometimes throwaway joints. Might have got it from somebody else almost and just kind of covered it honestly, and then just threw it on the album. So you know, the fact that BTS kind of really gives B-sides the love and care that they do, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all about to tell me it's choreography for this, just
Probably
because
is.
that's the type shot that they be on. So yeah, I like that a lot.
No, I thought the song was good, especially from a metaphorical standpoint. They definitely ran literally through probably all the fall metaphors that you could possibly use. They definitely broke out of the thesaurus for this one. You know how lost love is equated to autumn leaves, like it's falling. You want to hold on to it, but you don't have the strength to just hold on to it, so it kind of gets away from you. You know, just trying to hold on to something like, you know, leaves on a fallen branch or whatever, what have you. You know, and they mentioned the word withered a lot. It wasn't so much what they said, it was the words that they used in expressing what they said. So it was like the withered memories, and when you think like withered and fall, you think how the leaves kind of shrivel up and dry out. But they're still kind of just on a branch, and maybe like the smallest gust of wind could just make them irrelevant, and they fall away. And you know, just things like that. I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to whether the rap line was needed or not. I think it's two different songs. It's a completely different song if you take them off, but obviously it's a different song if you have them on there. It definitely kind of breaks up the vocal line, but I think if you take them off, that vocal line probably just loses, you know, goes ape shit and kills the track. But I thought it was a good song. Not really familiar with this B-side or this album other than what we've already covered, but it seems like something to definitely get into.
Yeah, shout out to Sugar too. He said he did the production on here. It's giving Suge, JK, RM, J-Hope, and Bang the writing credits. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, I thought this was honestly written really beautifully. As you all had said, you know, the countless similes and metaphors and the way they tie any bit of this nature-esque poetry, as far as the 4 seasons, and in RM's case, the 5th season, of tying everything back and kind of just using those land, nature metaphors to kind of tell a story. Granted, we've definitely heard those kind of illusions of a fall being like the demise of a relationship perhaps and everything like that. One thing I definitely want to say too is I love the fact that everything within the aspects of the the quote unquote fall, like if you attribute winter to being like the seeming of death or whatever, I like that fall is seemingly like kind of trying to hold on to something, as they allude to with like the branches and the leaves and everything like that, seemingly like you're trying to hold on to it, but that faint gust of wind and can like for lack of a better term, no pun intended, but on like the House of Cards aspect of it, like just the slightest thing can kind of deviate this relationship. And it's like a dooming sense, but it's still something you seemingly are trying to hold on to. And I love just some of the brief things of the lyrics that had kind of stood out more so. I'll get back to Sugar's verse in a sec, but RM's verse was definitely my favorite. It was what stood out to me the most and seemed to have the most elements of the poetry within it. But in the sense of, I love the whole aspect of the 5th season, again, alluding to like if the winter is the death and that's the end, that's the 4th season, that rebirth being the next spring that follows, and basically just saying you're that to me, like you're, basically you're always going to represent that life and that prosperity perhaps to me. That rebirth, if you will. So I thought all that was done incredible as well. Also, the lingering feelings hung out piece by piece like laundry, but then to follow that up with only crimson memories fall, which is basically like playing on, as Keith had said, the drying of the leaves to where there's like that crunch, that crimsonness. It's also a word, ironically, that's attributed to kind of fire with like crimson, like a burn or something like that, which could also be intricate wordplay on the part of heartbreak or anything like that. But I thought all that was done incredibly well, and the fact that you're kind of attributing like the memories themselves to being that charred crimson burntness. So again, just the way they tie that into the literal life being drained perhaps out of the leaves themselves as the winter begins to set in. And then also towards the end of his verse when he basically said, you're near, my two eyes are far away, though, basically almost creating that, like, I'm looking past you, like you're not anything that's in my view anymore, and kind of alluding that to, like, you know, the connection you want, but something that the other person doesn't. And in the last thing he had said, basically just within that verse, was inside my memories I become young again. So literally the whole fall aspect is literally you're retreating, you're kind of going back in time, keeping with the metaphor of, you know, spring forward, fall back, if you're looking at like the clocks or anything like that, which is interesting because I don't believe they do that internationally.
Fall back.
I believe that's something we only do here. So nonetheless, I just thought that was amazing in the sense of the fall being like you're going back to those memories. You rather live in those memories of what was than perhaps what is the objective truth in the situation. Not being able to kind of move on or accept anything. I loved everything too with the bridge as far as you know, V kind of having his own moment there, as Lo had said. And basically wanting to hold on to those faded memories. Is that something that's attributed to greed? Like, is that something I'm wrong for? But then basically on the lost season saying you're trying to turn back, you're trying to go back to that. And again, keeping with the spring forward, fall back sort of aspects of it. And then J-Hope kind of, you know, he crushed it at the end, rightfully so. Basically, you know, everything about all the memories faded. And, you know, I always love the analogy of kind of the whole fallen leaves aspect with, like, being tears aspects. It creates an interesting kind of oxymoron within that, as far as like leaves that are dried out don't have water, kind of, so that's kind of what alludes to in the fall. So then the tears and everything being the water in that, I don't know, it's just incredible wordplay on that part as well. But everything that the vocal line is doing in this, I mean, they absolutely snapped. Considering mostly towards the end when everyone was riffing off each other, the harmonizing, it felt like there was some layering of the vocals as well. I couldn't quite tell who was hitting some of the background notes. I believe a large part of it, though, was Jimin, when he was kind of pairing up with Cookie on those notes. I thought all that was done incredibly well, nonetheless. But, all in all, it was incredible. But I don't think I quite said anything about Suge's verse. So there's one particular lyric I wanted to touch on. Sorry, one sec. Basically when everything had fallen, you know, clinging to that branch, I like that he had basically said referring to the silence of your aloof heart, which I thought was beautiful and poetic in its own right. Basically the foolishness of the love itself, and kind of the silence within that. I just found that was a good pairing between what you're feeling and what you're showing outwardly. But yeah, I could probably go on forever. But.
I don't know why when you said foolishness, I was like, oh, you got tangled.
If you know, you know.
Anybody else have anything to add after that? Yeah, you weren't trying to follow that up. Got you the fuck out of here.
I'm not trying to talk.
Like, comment, subscribe, #Redeemers. Let us know what other B-sides from BTS we should react to. Also, make sure you jump on the Patreon because we're about to be doing a live version of this
right now,
just to see what the energy is like. But we love you guys to death. We're going to holler at your army.
Take care.
Peace.